Welcome to Ask the Edmonds Cop. I'm Teresa Whipple, and Happy New Year, Shane Hawley.
Happy New Year.
We're going to address a question that keeps coming up,
Okay.
both with you and with me, when we deal with different aspects of a crime that may have happened in an area of town that some people think is Edmonds, but you say is not.
Yes. Yeah.
To
We
make
do
it
get that
clear.
one a lot.
Yeah, and so let's talk about that. You know, there are unincorporated areas that have an official post office box that say Edmonds, but then people call Edmonds Police and find out you guys can't help. So let's talk a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, so we do. We get this a lot. I live in Edmonds, and our response is, well, actually, you don't. Yeah, but I get my mail in Edmonds. I know, and I know your address says it's Edmonds, but it's unincorporated.
Right.
And there are two distinct areas where we get this complaint from, for the most part. One is the Esperance area, and that's the pocket that's in the
In the middle of Edmonds.
in the middle of Edmonds
Yeah.
for the most part. And it's like 8% roughly of the city by volume.
Right.
So it runs, if you don't know where Esperance is, think of Highway 99 at the south end, and it pushes to the west, basically to Edmonds Way, out pretty close. That's the easiest way. And from about 234th to about 220th. And it's a little square right in the middle of the city.
Right.
The other area we get this from is kind of the Picnic Point area, the north part of Edmonds, north of Meadowdale, right in between Mukilteo and Edmonds.
Right.
There's a lot of Edmonds addresses up there, but those are in the county as well.
Yeah, and to make it even more confusing, some of those families, they don't even go to the Edmonds School District. I think they go to the Mukilteo School District. So it's
correct.
it's very confusing.
Yeah, so it's a mailing address thing. It's where
Yeah.
you're getting your mail, where the post office is at. But so I guess the question is, how do you find out where I actually live?
Yes.
And I would think most people that own a home probably had done that research ahead of time, you would think, to figure out where you're paying your taxes to,
Yeah.
The city or the county, which is one of the places you can go to find out. And that's the county's assessor's website.
Okay.
You can go there, Snohomish County, search for assessor, and there's a property search feature where you can just type in the address you live. And I would think mostly that would be for people renting. And
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
You know, you're renting an apartment or a house. You don't know technically if you're in the city or the county because you don't pay the taxes.
Right,
That's one option. The other option is you can actually go to the City of Edmonds website, and there's a mapping feature. Or you can go to, I had to write it down here. I found it. It's maps.edmondswa.gov.
Okay.
And that's run by the city. We have a guy that does all the mapping, and you can actually look at a boundary map. You
perfect.
can scroll in. It shows all the property lines if you actually want to see property lines and stuff, and it's got a really clear outline of what's what.
Okay. Very good.
And it can get confusing.
Yeah, it can, and I think from your perspective, what matters is that, you know, if somebody calls and they are in one of those areas, they need to actually go to the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office, right?
Correct.
That is the jurisdiction.
Correct. We just had this the other day. Someone posted something on our Twitter page and said, hey, we've seen this suspicious guy around our house. And our response, unfortunately, was like, well, you live in the county.
Right.
So if you see him, call 911 because the sheriff's office will
Yeah.
respond.
And again, you know, call 911 when you give your address to the dispatcher.
Yes.
They will sort that out.
Correct.
But
That'll pop up on it.
Right, but just don't assume that you're going to end up with an Edmonds police officer if you live in one of those areas.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
Great. Very good.
There you go.
Great information. We'll be back again soon with another episode of Ask the Edmonds Cop.